Hi everyone, Miss McGuinness here. I'm going to read you the final part of The Enormous Crocodile by Dahl, and we're going to see what's going to happen to him in the end. Now, in the last clip, I thought that he might crash into the moon, so we'll find out if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I wonder what your prediction was, and I wonder if you were right. Let's find out. Okay, so these are the questions for the final part of The Enormous Crocodile. Here he is. Let's see the questions we're going to answer today. So our Viper questions are: find and copy the phrase that tells you what the enormous crocodile looked like when he was in the air. So remember, that means you need to look back at the text and write the words down. Question number 2. What word could we use other than huge? So you need to find a word that means the same as huge, but it's a different word. That's called a synonym. True or false? The enormous crocodile whizzed past the stars and planets. So you need to go back and have a look to see if that's true or false. Okay, and the last one is a little challenge for you. Can you write an alternative ending for the enormous crocodile? So we'll find out the ending in a minute. But let's have a go and see if you can write a different ending for the enormous crocodile. And if you're in year 2, you can send it to me on the class website or using Class Dojo. So let's start the final part of the enormous crocodile. There he is. Let's see what happens to him. Suddenly, Trunky let go of the crocodile's tail, and the crocodile went shooting high up into the sky like a huge green rocket. Goodness me, that's a bit of an adventure for a crocodile. Let's see what happens. Up and up he went, higher and higher, faster and faster. Oh look, there's those ER word endings again, year 2. He was going so fast and so high that soon the earth was just a tiny dot miles below. He whizzed on and on. He whizzed far into space. He whizzed past the moon. He whizzed past stars and planets until at last... Oh, I wonder where he'll go now. Let's have a look. With the most tremendous bang, the enormous crocodile crashed headfirst into the hot, hot sun. And he was sizzled up like a sausage. And that's the end. Oh my goodness, that's an unusual ending. I have never read a story where the main character crashed into the sun and was sizzled up like a sausage. Goodness me, what a surprise! I hope you enjoyed the last part of the book. Okay, so these are the answers to part 8, the final part of The Enormous Crocodile. The first question was find and copy the phrase that tells you what the enormous crocodile looked like when he was in the air. So find your answer or go back into the video clip and have a look and see. Okay, so this is my answer. In the text it tells us that he looked like a huge green rocket. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, the next question was, what word could we use other than huge? We're looking for a word that means the same as huge, but it's a different word. And that's called a synonym. So you can have a think and write it down and check your answer against mine. Okay, so my answer is huge. Obviously we could have the word enormous, but I have chosen some other vocabulary for you to use. So we could use the word massive, we could use the word vast, we could use the words immense and colossal. Okay, true or false? The enormous crocodile whizzed past the stars and planets. So if you're not sure, go back to that part of the video clip and have a look. My answer is true. Okay, and the final challenge was to ask you to write an alternative ending for the enormous crocodile. So what I want you to do is send your alternative endings using Class Dojo if you're in Year 2 or your class website if you're in another year group. Okay, so that's the end of the enormous crocodile. I hope you've enjoyed the story, and if you accepted the challenge to write an alternative ending for the enormous crocodile, send it to me on Class Dojo or on your class website. Really like to see your ideas and hear from you because we're missing you very much. Bye, stay safe.